Welcome back. We are now inside of our lesson or lecture, and we've added files including video, audio, and a PDF. What we can also add is text. And this means then that we can add in text for our viewers to read inside of the actual lecture area. So once we have our content, we're going to paste it directly into the WYSIWYG editor. And because we have a WYSIWYG editor, we can then make changes to the content in the way we want it to appear as it is. And you'll see what we're doing here is we are changing the spacing to be exactly what we want it to be. We can use the WYSIWYG editor exactly how we want it to appear by using the enhancements to the actual text. Once we've added the text, we can click Add Text. And you'll see that text available inside of the lecture area. We can also use the Add Custom Code link in order to add in code. So for example, let's assume that what we would do is we wanted to add in a YouTube video, but what we wanted to do was we wanted to add in the embed code. What we would do is we would then get the share code, we would then get the embed code, we would then copy that embed code, we'd then head back to our Teachable area. We can then paste in our code. Once we have it, we can then click Add Custom Code. When we preview the code, you'll see then that the video appears as an embedded video from the place, in this particular case is YouTube, that we embedded it from. Now, if you want to test out code other than HTML code, you can test out that code by using it inside of the Add Code Example area. You can add that code example so that you can see how it's going to appear inside of your lecture area. Now, we can actually add in an upsell block to our lecture. However, at this point, we don't have a second product available. So we won't be able to actually add in the upsell, but we will come back to this in another point in the course. You'll notice now that what we've done is add a lecture with all of the content inside of one lecture. And we can repeat that process by clicking Add a New Lecture. We can then name that lecture what we want it to be. We can then save the name, and we can then begin to go inside of the lecture. And once we're inside of the lecture, we can then begin to add in the content that we want to place in there, just as we did with the first section. And you'll see all of the elements available to us in order to add more content to a particular lecture. If for some reason we don't want to keep that particular lecture, we can then check it. We can then delete that lecture. If we want to copy the lecture that we've already done, all we'll need to do then is click this button. That's going to duplicate the lecture. That lecture is going to be available in the same way. If we click inside that lecture, you're going to see all of the same content. If we go back, what we can do is we can then tick this particular box. We can then delete that lecture. Now, one of the things that Teachable does in order to allow us to upload our content is to do a bulk upload as part of the process. And so you'll see here that as we are inside of adding our curriculum to a specific course, what we can do is we can go to this area that says bulk upload. What we can then do is to choose our files. We can then add and grab all of the files that we are going to want. We can then click Open. When we then have all of our files, what we can then do is to upload those files. Teachable will then go through the uploading process. What you'll then notice is that each video has then been added as if it were a specific lecture separate from all of the other videos. We can drag and drop in order to reorder them. We can create a new section for some of the videos. And you'll see then what we can do is we can then drag and drop the content where we want it to be. So basically what we can do is we can upload our content, and then what we can do is go backwards to customize the content according to how we want it to appear. Let's assume then that what we want to do is to click inside of this video. And yes, the video is going to show there, but if we wanted to add in content, we could do it. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.